And I did it. My microphone was off. Welcome, guys. Hope everybody's doing good. It is 1:45 here in Florida, and I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for probably about 30 minutes. Short and sweet. Little live stream here. Nothing crazy. Don't know if I'll have time to do a stream tonight. That's why I'm just hopping on this afternoon to say hello. But welcome, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Hope things... I know a lot of... places around the world are trying to get back to normal. Wherever you are, I hope you're staying safe. The world is still weird, right? Yeah. When is it going to get back to normal? Who knows? What is normal? Who knows? Let me take a quick sip of water because I just put my daughter down for a nap and I was rushing to get this stream started. All right, guys. Caleb Kip and Super Michael 98. Thank you guys so much for the first channel supports of the stream. Let me answer this question from Jay Goldie real quick. Jay Goldie said, what site was Greedo using to play Star Wars Galaxies? Anybody know? So, Jay, if you just Google SWGEMU, you'll find it. Star Wars Galaxies Emulator. I believe the server is actually called SWGEMU. Yeah, it's a decently populated server. I mean, obviously nowhere near what it used to be. When the game first came out, but if you want to get a fill or get your fill for a little bit of nostalgia, it's worth checking out. Anyway, Caleb Kim, thank you so much. Hello there, right back to you, man. Hope you're doing well, Mr. General Kenobi. Hope you're staying busy and hope your new job is going decent. But I appreciate that, man. It's always good to see you, and we need to fire up some Empire at War soon, when things settle down over here at the Greedo house. But I appreciate that, man. And Super Michael 98, thank you so much as well. All biases aside, which of these four is the better movie sequel? The Empire Strikes Back, The Godfather Part 2, The Dark Knight, and Aliens. That is really, really difficult. Completely honest here, I've never seen Godfather Part 2. I've heard from numerous people that it's better than the first Godfather. I thoroughly enjoy the first Godfather. I've never seen Godfather Part 2. So let's take that out of the equation here because I don't know. But Michael, those are all fantastic, fantastic sequels. Obviously, The Empire Strikes Back, Dark Knight, and Aliens. And they're all pretty different from what came before, right? Like, especially man, that's really tough. I almost want to say Aliens. If I'm taking the biases away, God, I don't know though. I mean, Empire is might be the best sequel of all time. It just kind of throws everything we think we know on its head, and you know, the bad guys win. Our heroes are down in the dirt. Our main character's hand literally got chopped off. It's kind of like a oh shit moment and a huge cliffhanger of what's to come, right? So probably Empire with a second maybe being Aliens. And the reason I love Aliens so much is because it goes in a very different direction than Alien, right? Alien was kind of a slow-paced, almost like a horror movie. It was like a boogeyman movie, on a spaceship with an alien, and it was just creepy and eerie. And then Aliens, the sequel, is Space Marines, and it is balls to the wall action. It is craziness, and it works so well as a sequel because you know they find out where these xenomorphs are. This colony got raided. It's decimated. They're going in to, investigate, figure out what the hell happened. And I love it. I love it as a sequel. Because it is so different, I mean, I think that's what makes a really good sequel is that it kind of, a really good sequel either takes things in a very unexpected direction, and doesn't repeat more of the same, right? I think that's at least maybe what the most memorable sequels are. It's easy to just do... I mean, it would have been easy to just do another Alien movie, right? Another spooky, slow-paced... Bernard just said slasher in space. Another slasher in space, right? But Aliens is just a completely different direction, and it's memorable because of that, right? But anyway... I appreciate that, Mr. Super Michael. And Joshua Breen, hey Greedo, will you be reviewing the Skywalker Legacy documentary? Is that the one on the Rise of Skywalker Blu-ray? If it is, I have not picked that up yet. And if I do, I mean, I'm sure I'll end up watching it. But I don't know if I'll make a video on it, to tell you the truth. With that kind of stuff, you know, I don't like making a video about every single tiny little thing. We're all going to watch documentaries. We're all going to watch that kind of stuff together. And you know, I'm sure I'll talk, when I do see it, I'll talk about it on a live stream, but I probably won't end up watching or making a video about it. Actually, maybe I'm completely off base here, but maybe, let me see. What is that called? Where did it go? Joshua Breen says Skywalker Legacy. Oh, it's on Disney Plus. Oh, nice, Tristan. Okay, so it's on Disney Plus. Okay, documentary. Yeah, eventually I'll get around to seeing it. I still haven't watched the Mandalorian like director roundtable thingy that everybody is talking about. I started up for a couple minutes just to check it out as I was grilling the other day. Never finished it, but yeah, eventually I'll get around to watching it, Josh. Don't know if I'll make a video about it, but I'm sure we will discuss it on a live stream. But I appreciate that, man. And Vince Wynn, good to see you as always, Mr. Vince. Who else should cameo in The Mandalorian? Maybe Cad Bane. Oh, maybe Thrawn. Oh, maybe Darth Vader. Holy shit. Oh my God, why not? Shake my head. I obviously I see the sarcasm there. I'm in agreement, man. Like what's really, and I understand we all like different things, right? We all like Star Wars, obviously, but we like it for different reasons. We want different things in our comics, our books, our games, our shows, whatever. And I understand that there's something deep inside of us that when you see Vader or familiar faces, it just kind of it hits you in the right spot, and you get excited, right? It's whatever, a nostalgia trip, whatever you want to call it. But for me, I've said this a lot, but the appeal of The Mandalorian was the new factor. I feel like, you know, you had this, and granted, we can't really judge it until we see it, right? I mean, who knows, whatever, who knows? But let's say Boba Fett is in there, Ahsoka's in there, and they're going to play a prominent role, or at least be in there for a sizable chunk of an episode, right? You had this really great, like, I don't know, like, just self-contained story with characters that you're not familiar with, and it was doing so well that way. It didn't rely on what came before. I don't need to see Vader or Boba Fett or familiar faces. I don't care. That's like not something that gets me excited as a Star Wars fan. Especially when you have a show like The Mandalorian that is doing so goddamn well, not relying on pushing our nostalgia buttons and our, oh, I remember that character buttons, you know? The Mandalorian, just keep it the self-contained thing. So yeah, it's kind of I get why people get excited, but at the same time, I don't. It's almost, unless it's done really well, it kind of comes off to me as like a cheap trick to bring back old characters. And granted, obviously, like I've said, we can't judge it until we see it, right? So maybe it'll be a lot more subtle than we're expecting, but that's just me. Anyway, Vince, I appreciate it, man. And Sun Solaris, thank you so much as well. My friend is new to Star Wars. Should I recommend he watch the Adawin's Revisited Edition or Harmy's Despecialized Edition, or just watch it as is? Son, so that's kind of fun, having a friend that has never seen it. So what should they watch? For me, I have the Revisited and the Despecialized versions, and obviously I have, you know, the Blu-rays with all the changes made to them. If you want to give them like a pure theatrical as you can possibly find, easily, I would show him or her the despecialized editions. Not that it's really that important, but maybe it would be more fun to see the movies as they existed when they first came out. That's the way I would want to be shown, even if I didn't know all this shit. I would just want to see how it came out and what launched this entire giant, worldwide phenomenon that is Star Wars. So, not that it really matters, but if I was to show somebody Star Wars for the first time, I would go with the despecialized edition. But that's just me. And, if you have, like, the Blu-rays handy, it doesn't really matter, right? Just pop them in. They'll probably get the same experience either way. But yeah, that's just me. Anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Stephen Homelak, good to see you, as always. At the end of Return of the Jedi, Akbar leans back in his chair and has a sigh of relief, like a NASA flight controller when he gets the astronauts back safely after a mission gone wrong. Great puppetry. Oh, absolutely. It's... As I was reading that, Steve, I can picture the scene. And I can picture the scene that you're probably speaking about, or maybe referencing, or maybe you're referencing a real, the real moments. Apollo 13 when Kranz, played by Ed. Oh my God, what's his name? Oh my God, And oh my God, this is gonna bother me. I'm not looking it up. I'm gonna get it.
I was worried when they went to Tatooine in that episode, but it was subtle and they didn't have the music playing in the canteen or anything, and it was fine. I hope they have something nuanced in mind.
Vince, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, man. Give me one sec. I gotta figure this out. And he played John Glenn in The Right Stuff. He's in Westworld. Oh, God, that's bothering me. Oh, my God, that's bothering me, man. All right, I've wasted time. I got to look it up. He played Gene Kranz in Apollo 13. Ed Harris, you big dumb idiot. Duh, you big dumb idiot. But no, I can picture that scene right. I can bring it from the base of my mind up to the forefront, Steven, and I can just picture it right off the bat. But yeah, love it. But I appreciate that, man. Great puppetry, indeed. And yeah. Well, speaking of that kind of moment, I love at the end of Apollo 13 when Kranz, Ed Harris, he sits down and he wipes a single tear from his face and he stands up and he's just like, fuck yeah, we got these guys home. It's fantastic. Love it. And it always comes as a surprise to me, man. Like, I always bring up Apollo 13 in these movies that I watched as a kid over and over again, and they're some of my favorite movies, right? And it's always surprising to me to hear that a lot of people haven't seen Apollo 13. Like, is there anybody in this live stream right now in the chat who has not seen Apollo 13? Whenever I ask this question, it's usually surprisingly a decent amount of people who haven't seen it. And maybe that's just because, it came out when I was 10, 12, something like that. It came out in 96, right? I think. Let me look this up. Apollo 13 movie came out in 95. So I was 9 when the movie came out. 95, yeah. So yeah, love it. Anyway, you guys haven't? A lot of people haven't seen it. Okay, a lot of people. Yeah, so I mean, it's for me, Apollo 13 is one of the greatest true stories that has ever been adapted to for a film. Ron Howard directed it. It stars Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, and it's just man, it's tense, it's funny, it's just so well done. And yeah, a lot of people on here haven't seen it. So yeah, watch it. Watch it. It's great. Great. Absolutely fantastic. It is one of the best, like, real life dramas, real life stories to put into a movie form, because it is just drama and tension and just excitement throughout the entire thing. And it's just so well done, man. But anyway, how did we get on that topic? Oh, what's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. Ray's Cam Vice, greetings. Greetings right back to you, man. That's short and sweet. I appreciate the greetings there. Ray's Cam Vice. But I don't know if you meant to type a little more than that, or if you wanted to be a one word and done channel supporter this afternoon, Rays. Either way, I appreciate the ever living hell out of you. And thank you so much for the generous channel support this afternoon, man. I greatly appreciate it. May the force be with you. Is that cheesy to say? May the force be with you? Might be a little cheesy. And Vince Wynn, thank you so much as well. I was worried when they went to Tatooine in that episode, but it was subtle and they didn't have the music playing in the cantina or anything, and it was fine. I hope they have something nuanced in mind. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It was familiar, but at the same time, it wasn't like cheesy, in your face. Hey, remember this. Hey, remember that. Hey, remember this. At least that's not the sense that I got. Now, if the cantina music was still on and Figure and Dan and the modal nodes were still jam banding in the cantina, yeah, that would have been dumb. But The Mandalorian just doesn't seem like the type of show to do that, right? It just seems like it is giving us new stuff, and when we do see something familiar, it is often very subtle and subdued. Which makes me think that that's kind of the direction they're going to go with some of these more recent announcements of Boba Fett and Ahsoka. It'll probably be a lot more subtle than we're all thinking, or a lot of people are thinking. That being said, that's exactly what I said about Palpatine and the Rise of Skywalker. So I have been wrong a lot. Sometimes I like. I think my own personal wants and wishes get into, or like, I don't know, blind me to what I think is actually going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, leading into Palpatine being in The Rise of Skywalker for months, I said, oh, I bet it'll be subtle. I bet it'll be a little roll. I can't imagine he's going to be shooting lightning into the, shooting lightning out of his fingers. And what does he do? He shoots lightning out of his fingers into the sky and destroys like an entire fleet. So if I am your guide, chances are Boba Fett is going to kill the Mandalorian and become the star of the show. But anyway, I appreciate that, Vince. We shall see, man. We shall see. Stuart, thank you for becoming a fleet member, man. What is that new? Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Easter eggs are good, but it depends on too many can make your eyes roll. Absolutely, yeah. It's when material relies on what came before heavily, it's fine if it's like a sequel or something like that. But where I kind of get where it breaks for me is when, I don't know, man, like, you'll be reading a book or something. I'm trying to think of an example, but like somebody will pop up in a book, or like in The Mandalorian, for example, if Boba Fett pops up or Ahsoka, it's just kind of like, man, all right. It does nothing for me, you know? But yeah. Anyway, welcome to the fleet, Stuart. If everybody in the chat could do me a big favor and say, welcome to the fleet, Stuart, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks, man. And Caleb Kemp, once again, I missed the Clone Wars. So happy we got a proper ending. The Siege of Mandalore was some of the best Star Wars ever. Yeah, I agree. I do feel a little, it's weird for me because, as you know, I was very late to the game with the Clone Wars. I didn't start watching it until 2017. So very late to the party. I watched it from like October 2017 until 12 hours before season 7 premiered. So it took me a long time to, go through the series. And then I literally ended the final episode of season 6 12 hours before the first episode of season 7 arrived. So it for me, there was never really a break in the Clone Wars. It's kind of a weird way to experience it, because for a lot of you guys, maybe the last time you saw a Clone Wars episode was like 2011 or 2012, something like that, right? And then there was a long hiatus for almost 10 years, really. But for me, there was no lag. There was no break in the chain. It was just like, oh, I started watching the Clone Wars. Oh, new Clone Wars? It just like, it never went away. You know, it's kind of interesting. But yeah. Anyway, Caleb, I appreciate that, man. I miss it too. But I'm in agreement. The Siege of Mandalore, the last final arc, a lot of that season was fantastic, and certainly some of the best Star Wars out there. And I'm so glad I started watching it, because I think, you know, if I would have continued my mentality of you know, that era, the Clone Wars, all that stuff really isn't for me, and I never gave it a chance, I would be missing out on a lot of great Star Wars stuff. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. And Admiral Akbar, thank you so much. Admiral Akbar says, "Hey Greedo, what up?" Not much, man. Yesterday was Mother's Day, obviously. The day before, I had actually a couple friends in town. Him and his wife, known this guy since I was like 13. They came over and hung out and had some beers and caught up. And then yesterday, you know, obviously Mother's Day, I made my wife a giant breakfast, pancakes and bacon, an egg, some scrambled eggs, and what else did I? Oh, hash browns. Shredded some potatoes, made my own hash browns. It was good as hell. And then last night, you might have seen the picture on Twitter. I grilled up some giant New York strips. Ooh, they turned out good. Perfect temperature. But yeah, anyway, that's what's up. So I appreciate that, Admiral. And Kai Holland, thank you so much as well, man. Hope you and your family are safe and well, Greedo Hard. Well, right back at you. Hope you guys are doing well too over where you're at. Yeah, we're hanging in there. Nothing's really changed for us in terms of schedule. My wife works in the medical field, so you know, she's still working, obviously, and I'm still doing channel stuff, taking care of my daughter. The only thing that's changed for me is, like, freelance projects have really dried up. I've had one in the past 2 months since all this stuff kind of popped off. A lot of the businesses that I would kind of doing freelance stuff for, I've kind of pump the brakes, and I'm really hoping that comes back soon. So yeah, other than that, man, we're doing well. But it seems like a lot of things are starting to open up again. I have a feeling there's going to be a resurgence of cases. If history is our guide and kind of examples from around the globe, I just feel like I understand everybody's super anxious, but I feel like I feel like maybe it's a little premature to just open up the world right now. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway. And Tryu, thank you so much as well, man. I watched the first 6 Star Wars movies with my dad Saturday, and he didn't see the prequel trilogy, and now he wants to watch the Clone Wars. I'm excited. Oh, that's fun as hell, Tryu. I'm assuming maybe you guys saw the sequel trilogy in the theater together. Take it easy, Vince. Good to see you, man. So yeah, I maybe you guys did see it in the theater together. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. And he didn't see the prequel trilogy, and now he wants to. So he had never seen the prequels from back when they came out in '99. Started to come out in '99. That's really interesting. What a fun way to experience it with your pop, watching those movies, a couple of those movies for the first time through him, and then wanting to watch the Clone Wars. Yeah, I mean, obviously your dad way better than any of us. So maybe if you think a lot of the arcs or episodes wouldn't be up his alley, maybe find a list of important episodes to watch with him. Or maybe just burn through the entire thing. Why not? 130 something episodes now, I think. I don't know. But that's fun, man. Memories. Times you'll never forget for sure. But if you guys do watch the Clone Wars together, you'll have to let us know what what he thinks. Or you could record it and turn it into a YouTube video, right? You could record a podcast. My dad watches the Clone Wars. That might be kind of fun. Anyway, I appreciate that, Tryu. Cool story, man. But, oh, perfect. I just looked at the time. 29 minutes and 15 seconds. My daughter is still taking a snooze. She's still napping. So, yeah. Awesome. What are your thoughts on the High Republic? I'm pretty hyped. Joey. Yeah, man. Like, the only reason that I'm super, or at least curious about it is the new factor, right? It's an era that we've never explored before. And that's really what gets me excited about it. You know, maybe I don't know. Because whenever I've thought of Star Wars, you know, I don't really think of Jedi and Sith. I don't really think of lightsabers and the Force. I usually think of, like, blasters and bounty hunters and, like, scuzzy cantinas and, you know, the underworld of Star Wars. That's kind of what has always been appealing to me. And this seems more like knights in shining armor Jedi. This seems like, you know, Lord of the Rings fantasy Jedi. So I think it'll be interesting. And honestly, that's why I'm kind of excited for it, just because, yeah, just very new, right? Very new. But, anyway, man. All right, guys. That is it for me. That is 30 minutes on the dot. Perfect. Perfect timing. So, tonight, I don't know if I'm going to be streaming tonight. We shall see. Other than that, uploaded a video today. Probably get another video up sometime this week. I still have stupid parody videos that I want to make, but it's just a matter of finding the time to shoot them, you know. But anyway. All right, guys. To everybody who played around in the chat, thank you for hanging out. To everybody who supported the channel through Super Chats this afternoon, I appreciate the hell out of it. Stuart, thank you so much for becoming the latest member of the fleet, man. Don't forget to connect your Discord account with your YouTube account, and stay tuned for that supporter Q&A soon. I need to set up a date for it. Things have just been hectic lately, so I've kind of put it off. But all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this evening, or this afternoon rather. I will see you when I see you. Cool? All right. So, wherever you are on planet Earth, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Let's end it with a little upbeat, bumpy song. All right, guys. See ya.